Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you again. I'm a snowstorm survivor.
Yeah, it sounds bad. I didn't, honestly, not on the news a lot. Didn't even know what was going on out there.
Oh,
Just
LA
texting you
News isn't covering the depression and heartache that people are having over here on the East Coast?
I mean, I'm not seeing, I'm not getting like weather alerts like, oh, power's out over here. I'm just texting you like, hey, you alive? What are you doing? I'm sending all those memes of you like shoveling snow and stuff, but you're here. You're alive.
Thank God I don't shovel. Today, from my bird's eye view, from my palace in the sky, from my apartment, I saw all these neighbors around me shoveling throughout the day. They look miserable. Their cars are covered in 8 feet of snow because the plows come through and they just plow everything onto the cars. And then it's like, well, you still have to go to work or school or wherever. So that's crazy. And Mike, it's not going to warm up above freezing for at least the next 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Where does the snow go? I'm being told it's going to stay here. I can't imagine it stays here with how big these mounds of snow everywhere are. Like, I don't know what's going on around here.
So have you left your apartment in 72 hours?
I have not been outside in more than 48 hours. I took a walk on Saturday just to get out of my system, a long 3 miler. It was wind chill was 7 degrees. It felt okay at that time. I felt like I dressed for it. But the 0-degree wind chill we're about to have, I just learned on the news here that the temperature is going to be cold, but it's actually going to be colder than it's supposed to be because the snow on the ground, it coldens the air around it, and that will make it a few degrees colder than it actually is. So I'm learning new things as we go here. And by the way, if the Patriots simply had a game in Foxborough yesterday, if the Bills simply did their job 2 weeks ago against the Broncos, Bills at Patriots would have been in a freaking blizzard yesterday.
Still talking about the Bills. All right, let's talk about the games.
I am. Wouldn't that have been a better game if Josh Allen was in it, by the way? Haven't I been saying
Yeah,
that?
of course it would have been. I mean, that game in general, not a great game. Like,
Not
we
great.
can talk about the Denver
Two
Patriots.
touchdowns in the whole game. Coaching decisions gone bad. Good
I will
defense,
say
not a good game.
the moment I thought that Denver lost the game was when Stidham was running backwards and tossed the ball out of bounds or onto the ground. Like,
That was
he
like
was
an
doing a
early
lot of
play.
this. Like, I know you're not watching me, but he was doing a lot of two-hand throws with the ball for some reason during that game. But I think that one play took him out. Like, he was done.
You think his confidence was shot at that point?
Totally shot at that point. Right? I mean, I watched most of that game.
I felt like Stidham's confidence was shot. I knew he had no chance to win when I learned late last week that when UCF won the national championship in the Peach Bowl against Auburn, it was against Jared Stidham. It was actually against Stiddy. And he couldn't beat UCF in 2017.
What the heck?
You can't hear me, Mike?
Oh,
I'm right
I
here.
can. Oh, yeah,
You
I
got
can
me.
hear you now. I can hear you now.
You
Sorry.
just wanted to not hear my take right there. But my
Yeah,
take
yeah.
was that I knew Jared Stidham couldn't win when I found out he was the quarterback that UCF beat in the Peach Bowl in 2017 for UCF to go undefeated. If you're losing to UCF in college, you're probably not going to win the AFC Championship game, and that's what happened.
I wish you let us know that last week because
I
was
didn't
like,
know until late in the week. I know.
they did cover the spread, which was a good thing. But that game gave me full confidence that whoever won the NFC game, which obviously was the Seahawks, and we're in the Seahawks jersey right now, is going to win the Super Bowl. Like that's what gave me confidence. I watched that game. I'm like, Drake May's not the answer. They were down 7 points in the first like 5 minutes of the game. I do think that this is all just set up for the Seahawks to win because of the new Pope. Obviously, he.
I forgot about that one.
That was the thing that still trends.
What's the stat?
So the last 2 times we had a new Pope, the Seahawks have made an appearance. They won one, lost one, and now this time they're back again with another new Pope. This is
Wait,
like
so
the
they
most.
could lose. You're saying they could lose. It's like they did the Pope's business just by getting there.
Yeah, they just have to make an appearance. They won one, lost one. So it is the wildest trend. I told Erin that trend, and she's like, "How do people know that?" I'm like, "It's just the internet. People find out random
We
trends
have
all the time."
stats on everything. Yes, you're right. The NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. We knew that like 2 months ago when the Rams and Seahawks played that epic game back and forth on Thursday night. We're like, they're going to play again and they're going to decide the Super Bowl, especially against Broncos Patriots. We'll get into it, Mike. I'm not excited about the Super Bowl. Like you said, your team, the Seahawks, already won.
They won what? The Super Bowl?
Yeah, you just said it. They already won the Super Bowl. Yes, they won the NFC Championship game. We'll get into all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, Sam Darnold is the real demon hunter out there. He slayed his demons, the ghosts, the whole thing, the Vikings debacle. He played great against the Niners and now the Rams, the two teams who seem to own him in the division. They went out and got Sam Darnold to beat those teams in the playoffs, and he did it. He beat Brock Purdy. He beat Matt Stafford in the better offense. I got to give him credit. He is the demon hunter.
Erin was watching the game with me right at the end of the game. She's like, oh, they're going to win. I'm like, there's still 2 minutes on the clock. Like, they got to burn the clock here. They still have the Rams still have another shot. Seahawks won the game. And Erin's like, why aren't you like cheering? Why aren't you excited? I'm like, they just now have to go to the Super Bowl and win. It's not over. This was just
You weren't excited that your team, one of your three teams made the Super Bowl?
I was excited, but it was like, I know this is just like, oh, like you got a chance to go play in the big game now. Now you're going to play the big game. I was excited, but not like, oh my God, they won it all. It's like, you're going to the Super Bowl now. Now it's time to lock in, right? You're not like celebrating that you got there. You have to celebrate the win.
I don't know. Dave Portnoy yesterday was speaking for Patriots fans everywhere where he said, let's just go to the Super Bowl. Do it for Josh Allen, who's never been. Do it for Sean McDermott, who's never been. Do it for the Jets, who haven't been in 57 years. Do it for the Dolphins, who haven't been there in 42 years. Maybe just getting there is half the battle. So you should be excited about getting there. It's been a decade or so since the Seahawks have been there. One of my takes on this matchup, Mike, is that the old Seahawks guard that you fell in love with, the reason that you are a Seahawks fan, the reason you're wearing a jersey right now, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf.
It was mostly Russell.
Originally Russell. I'm not blaming Russell in this take. What I'm blaming is that old guard was holding them back the last few years in Seattle because the new guard that's come in with Mike McDonald and Sam Darnold and the new defensive players, they completely flipped the whole franchise in 2 years, which is like, that doesn't happen in the NFL. Pete Carroll had him in a good spot, but wasn't ready for them to elevate, and the new guard did. I'm not impressed with your boys who ended up in Las Vegas, Pete Carroll and Geno and Tyler Lockett, after the Seahawks did so great as soon as they left.
They didn't do a good job. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, because I have a little DK jersey for James.
How many Seahawks jerseys do you own?
Probably like 4 or 5. I got old Russell one. I got DK. I think I got a Doug Baldwin one as well.
Ooh, that's a classic for the Super Bowl party. Because I know if you had a team in there that you didn't have jerseys for, you'd order them on TV, like recent Chiefs jerseys. But now this year you're built in with Seahawks. I got it. You're good to go.
Yeah, I have so much swag. It's great. But I got the little DK one. I was like, man, DK Metcalf must be so pissed. He got shipped away, got replaced by, I guess, Cooper Kupp, but technically JSN. And he must be pissed. He's in Pittsburgh. Now that whole franchise is rebuilding. And he just kind of went through a rebuild in Seattle. Then he got shipped off to the cold in Pittsburgh. Sucks for DK. I feel bad for him.
He should have taken less money and stayed in Seattle. Geno Smith should have taken less money and stayed in Seattle. These guys had a good thing going, and now they're going to kind of limp in to the end of their careers. By the way, another thing on the Seahawks-Rams game, this should have been in the manifesto, and I didn't see this anywhere, and I wish I knew about it before I went big on Rams, Super Bowl, Rams money line everywhere. Yeah. Mike, Devontae Adams, now 0-5 in NFC Championship games. That is depressing for one of the all-time greats. Maybe a Hall of Famer never goes to the Super Bowl. It's like what I was saying with Josh Allen last week. You can be great. You can be on great teams. There is no guarantee you will make a Super Bowl in your career.
Can I tell you how confident I was that they were going to go to the Super Bowl? On Wednesday last week, after we recorded on Tuesday, I ordered a batch of new swag.
What?
Because I'm like,
Rams?
No, Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I was just like, I thought that Pope thing was so flat, like on. I was like, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to just load up on some fresh stuff. Get Aaron, a nice shirt or jersey to wear for the Super Bowl. Get James a new sweater or something. I was very confident. But it was a great, the game was great. I was definitely nervous most of the time because they were going back and forth for a little while.
They were. It wasn't, I don't know. I felt let down by the games yesterday, Mike, in a way. We had so many epic games leading into yesterday, but before the Sunday championship games. The first 2 rounds of the playoffs featured 6 games with late lead changes. It was like 6 out of the 8 or 9 playoff games in the first 2 weeks had late lead changes. The team who was winning at the 2-minute mark didn't win the game. This week, we didn't see those furious comebacks. We saw attempts by both the Patriots and the Rams late. It didn't go down to the goal line. It didn't get them points in the end. I felt like it could have been better. I was a little bit let down by both games.
I will say, as I'm watching the game and then you look back, I feel like I saw the moment when the Rams could have at least had that shot at the end of the game to maybe kick a field goal is when they went for it on fourth and they were like near the goal line. They're like, oh, we're just going to go try to get a touchdown here. And they didn't kick a field goal. I thought if they kicked a field goal there, they could have kept it within 1 point. But then they were 4 points back, so they couldn't kick a field goal at the end of the game.
Big controversy on both teams that didn't kick a field goal that maybe should have. It would have helped them in the end. The Broncos should have kicked a field goal early to go up 10-0. We need the backup quarterback take points. So Peyton was getting killed for that today, especially in a low-scoring game. That could have been 10-10 in overtime. And your point here on the Rams kicking a field goal, maybe they should have kicked one early. They're only down 1 at the end, then they're going to play for a field goal. I think they would have needed more time to actually get in field goal range. But the point remains, maybe it was a bad move. I think Sean Payton made a bad move. I think McVay did a fine thing. I think you want to take the lead in that spot, make Sam Darnold go down and score points on you when he hasn't proven it throughout his career instead of the Seahawks defense making plays. And sure enough, Stafford didn't get the fourth down. It wasn't a good play either.
Yeah, do you think this is, because I was like, okay, is this the end of everybody going for it on fourth? Like, do you just go and get the points?
That's the narrative today, yeah.
I didn't even know. I didn't watch anything. I just wanted to be fresh. It's Monday afternoon. I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't want to listen to any podcasts. I just wanted to talk, see the thoughts of it. I watched the whole game. Aaron was out with James. They were at a train museum all afternoon. I had
that's the best. You sent him out for Championship Sunday.
They're a train
No park
museum.
for Mike yesterday.
No park for me yesterday. Park in the morning.
And your team won. Your team won, which is iconic. That's great. I don't know. I think the idea of going for fourth down won't die. I think the offseason, we all forget about certain moments in the playoffs and the season, and you still going back to the analytics. I think there's a certain discourse of take the points in a low-scoring game. By the way, did we know it was going to blizzard in Denver? Because we knew it was going to blizzard at my house for 3 days, and I was prepared. I don't know the people in Denver were prepared. I don't know the players were prepared. I don't know if Sean Payton knew there was going to be a blizzard in the second half. If he did, he probably kicks a field goal in the first half instead of running his kicker out there in the blizzard to kick a field goal late in the game. I was like, why are they kicking this at this point? They should have gone for it late in the game because the kicking conditions were so terrible anyway.
Yeah, they look cold. Like when Drake May was falling on the ground, you're like, oh man, that looks real rough falling on the ground cold. Imagine you going outside and just falling on the grass.
I stuck my arm out there a few times, Mike, and it was like, my arm's so cold. I had to come right in right away. I can't imagine the whole body. By the way, this is a betting podcast, and Super Bowl 60 is the unlikeliest matchup all time based on preseason odds ever. And so this just opens up the board for next season. All these favorites that you see for the Super Bowl look much further because the Seahawks were plus 6,000 to reach the Super Bowl. New England plus 8,000. 80-1 to make the Super Bowl. Both teams not expected to. It's the second least likely matchup in major North American sports championship history. All the sports, except for the 1991 World Series between my Atlanta Braves at 200-1 and the Twins at 80-1. So a pretty good stat.
I will say, I think previous years, I think winners were maybe like 20-1, maybe not the Eagles or Kansas City, but like 20-1. But I was also looking, I was like, okay, Vrabel, first-year coach. I wanted to look up the stats. First-year coaches are 4-4 in Super Bowls.
Wow, they've made 8. But wait, Vrabel, I get he's a first-year in New England. He's not a first-year head coach in general.
But first-year head coach in the new team. Because I feel like that's a tough thing to do, right? So you go in there, new team. I looked up second year. It's a little more scattered because it's like second-year coaches sometimes. But I just don't know if it's as likely for a first-year coach to go out and win the Super Bowl. I saw a stat that so if you were a head coach previously and then head coached another team, that team has never been, the second team will never go or has won a Super Bowl as a second.
So Vrabel would be the first to win it on a second head coaching job.
If Vrabel is able to win it, he would be the first head coach in a second term of a head coach on a new team. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I don't see a world where the Patriots win. Listen, the Super Bowl is a spectacle. We'll get the snacks out. We'll get the betting props out. I just in terms of who's going to win the game, I don't know how anyone can have an intelligent argument that it's going to be the Patriots. Drake May has not been good in these playoffs. The Seahawks will roll them easily, in my opinion. I think actually looking at it, Mike, the Patriots have the easiest road to the Super Bowl in NFL history.
Yes.
They beat a broken offense in the Chargers, who fired their offensive coordinator 24 hours after the game. Their offense was broken with Justin Herbert throughout the year. Then they beat the Texans, a team with 5 turnovers. C.J. Stroud handed them the game 5 times. The Patriots needed all 5 of them to win that game. It was close until the end. And then playing the backup quarterback Stidham in the snowstorm, making the Broncos go into the snow at points in the game. I don't think a team has ever reached the Super Bowl with an easier playoff road.
Yeah, it seems too easy because I was trying to get stats together. What is the argument for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl? I was like, the defense has been good. They only allowed 26 points in total in 3 playoff games. So that's because C.J. Stroud was having a seizure. Right? Herbert had a broken hand. And the Broncos were in the cold with a backup quarterback because their main quarterback broke their ankle. So it was it was an easy path for the Patriots. So I don't know if they've been road tested. Obviously, it's been cold where they've been playing. Seattle's going to San Francisco. Should be a nice, brisk weather in San Francisco in 2 weeks. Hopefully no rain coming in. But I can't make the case. I'm obviously a Seahawks fan, but I just don't know what the case is because Seahawks look way too good. And I thought going into the Rams game, I thought Rams were the best team coming in. I thought they could beat the Seahawks, no problem. That's why I was scared.
Even though you bought the Seahawks gear before the game.
Yeah, I was scared. I was like, well, this is it. I got to buy the gear. So I'll show you all the new gear when it comes in.
All right, nice. I thought the Rams were the best team, too. I thought they were the best roster. I thought they'd win yesterday, and they just didn't do it. You're right. We're going to get so many hot takes, and this is what's tough. The Super Bowl is not this Sunday. It's in 2 weeks, and so we're going to get so many takes and so many segments about the Patriots defense. It's guys, what happened first, the chicken or the egg? Are they a good defense, or have they beat up on bad quarterbacks all playoffs? Even all season, Mike, you said it. They didn't beat anyone all year. They ended up having the best win of the regular season was against Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen and the Bills fired their coach and have an offense in disarray right now. Their whole team is in disarray as they look to find someone. The Patriots might not have a great win all year when you really look at what they just did in the playoffs, plus considering the regular season. How are they going to go and beat Seattle, this team that was dominant all year, this team that put away the best teams in the NFC like the Rams and the Niners? I think the line should be 7 or 8. I don't know what it's doing at 4.5.
Yeah, so it's at 4.5. It opens at 3.5. I thought a 5.5, 6.5 line made sense, but
that's what we were texting yesterday.
But it seems are they trying to get money on the Patriots side? Or are they trying to get money on the Seahawks? I don't know. It's a weird.
No, I think it's 78% of public money on day one is already on Seattle. That number should normally keep going higher from the day one number. No one's going to be on the Patriots in this game.
Well, we'll see. I want to see if any injury news comes out because Sam Darnold did take that hit and I worry his
2 weeks. How many shots can he take in 2 weeks, right?
I know, but listen, if your abs, something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with his abs. Something could happen there.
Seems fine.
It seemed fine, but there was that one ball that he threw that seemed a little wobbly and too much air towards the end. But who knows? I was watching it very closely.
I'm feeling a little sad. I know your team's in the Super
Why
Bowl. It's because there's one football game left. It's not even a good game. That might be why I'm sad. It's we got so many good playoff games early in the playoffs, and it's all these great quarterbacks, and now I'm stuck with Darnold and Drake May. They're not even the top class, and these teams who I think the Seahawks will dominate, and there's only one game left, and it's even for the casuals are going to come in, and everyone will be giving me football takes, and most of them will be terrible. It's the NFL Sunday. My whole existence is about NFL Sundays in the Northeast, and I feel it's drying up on me.
Jeremy, I'm sharing this because last week people were complaining we were not showing the script that leaked.
Who complained? Okay? Instagram, TikTok people?
Yeah, people were just complaining you're not going to show the clip. It's here's the clip. I don't know. It must be a real script because this is an actual post from the NFL in September. And it shows Sam Darnold, if you look at it, Sam Darnold in the front on the left and Drake May in the front on the right. And it is absolutely insane that is the two going to the Super Bowl.
Not to be confused with another image we saw at the beginning of the playoffs that had the 4 quarterbacks left. Well, one was Bo Nix, but the other 3 who started at the front of the line there. This is actually an image, if you're just listening to us, with all 32 NFL teams represented, 32 NFL stars, the biggest one in every team. They put Tua on the graphic. Tua had a chance at the Super Bowl. That's crazy. And so Mike has a close-up, and at the very front, it's Sam Darnold and Drake May walking toward the trophy. Mike, the NFL always leaves us breadcrumbs. You don't always know how it's going to be left, but clearly it's another example.
Well, and then if you look at the logo, you interpret the logo, like who's going to be there. It's like, Seattle and Patriots. You see the bridge in the city. It's very interesting that it's always like this. So I don't know if it's a real script. Obviously, we've had some predictions, but I'm going to look real close in the offseason at the new Super Bowl 61 logo. Yes, we're going to look real close. But yeah, so this is insane that's an actual real image. It's all over the internet right now, so you can obviously see it if you're listening to us. But yeah, so that's the script.
It doesn't tell us who's going to win. It doesn't have one in front of the other a little bit. It seems like they're both equal. So like the script is over. The script will not help you win a Super Bowl bet. I don't think so. But listen, are we coming at this too, like, we saw the Patriots, we know their weak schedule, we see the Seahawks. Is it too easy to say you take the Seahawks? Because the Patriots beat teams. I mean, it's not like they didn't beat teams, but you were the one who told me all season they didn't beat anyone.
I know.
The Bills, who are in disarray. That's who they beat. The Chargers, who are in disarray. The Texans, whose quarterback had a seizure, like you said. Like, who did they beat? I'm at that point where I'm mad they're here. I'm getting madder and madder as the show goes on.
So you're going to get a Seahawks jersey? Or
the Bills should be there. Why aren't the Bills in this game? Why didn't the Bills kick a field goal against the Broncos? Why didn't the Bills play the Patriots in a blizzard yesterday?
That's the one thing. I think sometimes people need to know some game, how do we play the game here? What are we doing? We see it low scoring. I think sometimes they're too much we have to go for it on fourth, not game situation awareness on the game. Kind of like Caleb Williams, slinging a ball in overtime. Hey, maybe play it safe here. Everybody, if you're listening and you're in high school, go play Madden and learn how to play Madden and play online against people and learn how to play football. Learn when the timeouts are. Learn what a catch is. Learn all these things so you know when you're in the game, you don't make a stupid mistake like these pro athletes that are just on the field making mistakes, or even head coaches. McVay's our age. And he should have made that. If you played Madden, what do you do in Madden? We can't score against each other. What are you going to do, Jeremy? You're going to kick a field goal against me.
You kick a field goal. The NFL, if they ran a simulator on how to prepare coaches for dealing with NFL game conditions, they would build it just like Madden. There's no way better to simulate the real-life experiences of the clock, of the score, of the playbook, of the opponent, all the variables, the weather that goes into all these things. They can't be made in a vacuum. They have to be made every time in real life by going through the reps. Once you play 10,000 hours of Madden, you become an NFL gameplay expert. You should earn a badge, and you should be able to do interviews for offensive coordinator and NFL head coach after you hit the 10,000 hours. Because, Mike, I think we do have better gameplay than most NFL coaches who missed that generation of video games.
Now, what the only issue I see is when you're at a football game, sometimes you don't know what's going on. That's the big problem too. We do have a bird's eye view, and I know they got coaches in the box looking at the game, making the call to the head coach. But those guys, maybe those are the guys that we should blame. You're up there, you're watching the whole game, you got a TV screen in front of you, know what's going on. Do you tune into the announcers at all? Do you want to hear a Romo
That's illegal. You can't listen to the TV broadcast. You cannot.
Well, you don't want to listen to Romo. Romo's not going to help you at all.
Well, he wouldn't help you out. He had another bad day. I thought Brady had a better day than Romo.
Brady did have better day, much better day. For sure.
Had a better day. You can't listen to the announcers in the headset. Mike, it's hard for us when we're in the upper deck of an NFL game. These guys are on the field. They're on ground level. You go sit courtside at an NBA game, you can call timeout, and you can just get up and call timeout from your seat, and they'll
you just
stop.
Get up at the Barclays Center?
You can do that. You're right there. Yeah, you're right there on it. And so my point is, when you're on the NFL sideline, you're in the mix. You're not like a fan, wondering how many minutes left, how many timeouts do we have. Yeah. You're in the mix. You got the headset. No excuses. Unless you're Mike McDaniel vaping on the sideline of Buffalo in a playoff game, you should be locked into what's going on. I have a theory that I saw, Mike. I just want to walk you through this and see what you think about NFL team building in the modern age. 2 of the 4 quarterbacks that made it to championship weekend yesterday were on rookie deals. And one more, Sam Darnold, was on a bargain deal. So Matthew Stafford, the 4th one.
$100 million bargain deal. By the way, $100 million.
Per 3 seasons. So per season, not bad compared to what someone like Stafford or Burrow and Josh Allen are making. So the 4th, Stafford, he is not on a rookie deal. He almost got beat by a QB on a rookie deal 2 weeks ago, which was Caleb Williams. So the point is, paying $50 to $60 million a year per quarterback. Of course, you're paying these guys like Allen and maybe Lawrence and the guys who drive your franchise forward. But doesn't it create deficiencies elsewhere on the roster? The Rams, they combated it by drafting great, by having great replacements everywhere. That's more uncommon. They got Puka in the 5th round. That really doesn't happen. That's uncommon. They should actually be not in that situation. Don't you think having a quarterback, a star quarterback that you pay a lot of money, is actually a bad thing for your roster, as we saw with the Bills?
Well, all right, a few things. Yes, I think it is bad for your roster, but I also think that you look at Denver, how much money are they paying to former head coaches? How much are they paying? Like $120 million to Russell Wilson.
They're paying more for Russell than Bo Nix, right?
Much more. I just think that it seems like with the Rams, it seems like it's more like a coaching thing, right? You bring them in, you got a good coaching staff. Are we able to get the most out of these guys? Now, I play a lot of NCAA, right? So my leadership in there, you want to develop the skill. You draft like a 2-3 star. You make them into a star player. You look, it's almost like the Moneyball method in football. Yeah, Mendoza is going to be number 1 overall. Is he going to change your franchise? Probably for the Raiders. That will probably help. But if you are the Rams, you don't want Mendoza. You're gonna draft number 2. You're gonna draft like an offensive lineman. I don't think it's gonna help. You want to get those value guys where you can get the contracts low. I think it comes down to money, coaching, and obviously if your quarterback is a Mahomes or a Stafford or a Josh Allen, you're going to pay them because they're like the center that you're building around, kind of like in our fantasy team league where we are able to like keep some players. You're like, I'm building around this one wide receiver, and this guy's going to keep my team, my core together, and we're going to try to figure out what we can do around it. It's hard because it's all salary cap, but then you see in like NCAA, they're just spending money left and right. Private equity's coming in saying, hey, we'll give you a ton of money. Go get the best quarterback. Let's go win, make some money. So I don't know where we're at.
NCAA is a tough comp because it's not all apples to apples there. In the NFL, at least there's salary caps. You kind of know how much you can build with. And I would think in the NFL, there's less margin of error for these teams that have a high-priced quarterback like the Chiefs. The Chiefs have to get their defense right. They have no option to get 1 or 2 players wrong or their defense is going to suck like the Bills did this year. And then you can't pay more players to come in. You can't make midseason acquisitions. You just can't do it with the way you're paying Mahomes $50 million. The Bengals have been bad for years all around Burrow. Is it almost like you can't build? I'm looking at this as next year, Mike, as we go in to preseason props, preseason Super Bowl bets, long shots, all the things. The 2 things I've learned on this show that I hope our listeners are noting for next July and August. 1, take some Super Bowl long shots, not the favorites, not the Bills, not the teams like that at the top. 2, the quarterbacks, if they're making too much money on a team, back it off. You want to be on some rookie guys, some younger guys, some free agent bargain bins. Wherever Malik Willis goes in free agencies, can I be midline like Sam Darnold? Bet on them to win the Super Bowl because they probably have better defense than the team you want to bet on.
We need to add this to the manifesto. I think we're looking for second-year head coaches, first-year head coaches that come in and have a new quarterback.
From other teams, like Kevin Stefanski. He was a head coach on the Browns, head coach on the Falcons. He can win right away with the Falcons.
So if he goes to the Falcons, so he's at the Falcons right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on the Falcons.
Bad example, Mike McCarthy, Steelers won't win right away, but that's the idea.
Yes. So if they had a better pick, if they have a quarterback they're looking for, are they going to make a trade? It's basically, are you getting a new quarterback or a new head coach? Also, I think fire these GMs. I think the GMs get away with like that New York Giants head GM. That dude needs to be fired. That dude should not be there.
He's still there with
He's
Harbaugh.
still there. Harbaugh is taking over.
Harbaugh changed the language in the contract at the last moment to not report to the GM so he could report to the owner. So he didn't like it. But it's clearly an issue when these GMs, the Bills are doing the same thing. They promoted the GM who ran Keon Coleman out there as the best receiving option for Josh Allen. Do I talk about the Bills too much? Am I mad?
I think you are. Yeah, it's been weeks for the Bills. But I think in the offseason we can talk about this because we can really identify some good teams because a lot of 9 head coach opportunity, right? Or 8 or 9 head coach opportunities.
Up to 10. So many head coaching. And I think what you're seeing with Vrabel and McDonald, the success right away is like these owners, these rich guys who normally say, let's let Tomlin do 19 years. Instead, they're saying, let's switch it up now and go to the Super Bowl in 1 or 2 years. We can turn it around that quickly.
But then if everybody does it, then it's like, what are you going to do? Everybody's doing it.
Well, the NFL's turned over 18 head coaches in the last 2 seasons now. That's more than half the league. So CEO turnover is crazy. If the Fortune 500 had 50% CEO turnover, the world would be in disarray. The NFL, it's just trends and shit.
I think you need like a good 4-year term because the Seahawks head coach, he came in with He came in with Pete Carroll's draft, right? Multiple years of drafting. So he had to figure out where to rebuild. His first draft was the second year, right? Even though you're coming in I guess technically it was kind of his.
Jackson Smith-Jigba in his first draft. That was pretty good first. That
was
pick.
pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's tough because you got to rebuild. You got to get it all. In fantasy football, it took you 15 years to rebuild. So.
Well, I took over an idiot's team, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's tough.
Who was
tough.
she?
Tough. We'll look at it in the offseason. All right. All right. So what's your? I mean, obviously we can talk about it next week. I'm going to have a ton of props, mostly on the Seahawks side, but we can do some Drake May stuff.
I might put a big number on Seahawks money line, like hundreds of dollars, and just see where that takes me. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not exciting or value, but it's like guaranteed at this point.
So do we believe that the New England Patriots defense is a fraud? Is that what we are kind of saying?
That's a big word for the AI breakdown email that goes out after this. We're not going to say fraud. We're going to say the Patriots defense is unknown to us, despite what everyone is saying. We don't actually know if they're as good as people are saying. And so we need to take a step back when you hear this, because you're going to hear it over and over for the next 13 days. The Patriots defense, the best in the playoffs. They're going to shut down the Seahawks and Sam Darnold. They've played no one all year. They lost to Geno Smith and the Raiders. Let this podcast come full circle to where we started. The Patriots lost to Geno and the Raiders. That's where they were a few weeks ago and months ago. They didn't get that better overnight. They just played nobody all year.
All right, so we're saying Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. What would you say the score would be at the end of the game? If you could just pin it right now, end of the game. Are we coming down to the wire here? Is it like 23-20? We're not going to get another boring...
I want a close game. We want a close game. It's on Peacock, heading into Olympics. A lot going on with this Super Bowl. You want a close one, tight at the end. Maybe a goal line interception like the last time these teams played.
No. We don't want that. No? They'll definitely be running the ball into the end zone for sure. they're not going to be thrown into the end zone with a yard away.
In the game? I don't know. Charbonnet's not there. They might not trust Kenneth Walker. I don't know.
I don't trust Holdy or whatever the backup, the third string running back is. I do not trust him at all.
I didn't trust him either. But Bobo's making plays. Give Bobo some more touches.
Bobo's great. Yeah, the team's great. There's a lot of guys.
27-10.
27. So are you going to take an alternate line for the Seahawks? Like you should go plus 10. Get some good
plus
value.
17, plus 16.
Wow.
I'll go minus 6. Seahawks minus 16 is my alt line. Is that value?
That's value. All right.
I'm not kidding. I have to stay true to who I am. And I was telling you all season, the Bills and Josh Allen are the best team there. And clearly they weren't. But the Broncos aren't. And the Patriots are just there because they didn't have to play anyone else. Like, I don't know what else to say about the matchup.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 34-17.
You think a blowout too?
Yeah, I think at some point. Now there's a stat. The Seahawks have not allowed one single point in the fourth quarter of the game during these playoffs. Or the
now
last
that is wait, they've only played 2 playoff games.
Yeah, so. No fourth. There's a stat. Hold on, I got a lot of stats here. Let me see. Where's Mike McDonald? Where's his stat? I don't know where it is, but there's a stat out there. They've not allowed any. Their defense is very elite. They do not allow points in the fourth quarter of the game. So I think this is a spot where they're going into the half. Seahawks are up. Patriots start trying different things. Maybe an interception, pick 6. Some wild stuff. It's the Super Bowl, right? So you're going to go all out. I imagine a lot of Drake May running, a lot of rushing because he's not going to be able to throw to any open wide receivers. A lot of scrambling from him. Could be a loose fumble. I'm literally going to write how I think the game will play out, and I'm going to pick
things that will happen in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick out stuff to prop bet based off how I think the script. I'm going to write the script this week. For the Super Bowl.
Well, the script is not written past this moment. We established they're both at the very front of the line. There's no future marketing graphics, unless there are, which we should look out for. I think that's a good idea. I think the Seahawks defense, if you're talking props, we're going to get into it next week. Let's not give it away now. But Seahawks defense touchdown or special teams with Shaheed, those both make a lot of sense.
Yeah. There's going to be, I have so many stats. Hold on. God, where is this stat? I have the stat somewhere. Whatever.
I think the line's going to keep moving. I can't imagine money's coming on the Patriots at this point, right?
What worries me is I overthink it and I overanalyze. Like last week we were on our gambling pool and I was betting. I was overthinking it all and not being confident what I really wanted was a Patriots Seahawks matchup in the Super Bowl. Like that's what I thought was going to happen. I had one bet on that instead of just putting all my money.
You should have been on Patriots Seahawks money line like mutual friend.
I know. Should have made it simple. But I didn't do it.
On that one thing.
Yeah. So I'm just going to I'm just going to think about it. I'm not going to overanalyze. I'm not going to listen to too much. There's only two choices here, right? It's a binary choice. It's A or B. And I think next week I want to go through list.
You're not in a Seahawks jersey taking the Patriots. So for you, Mike, I think the binary choice has been made.
It has been made, but I'm just going to make it, make sure that there's no sneaky way they come in and somehow beat them. We got to see the injury report. Is anybody injured? Walker got a whole bunch of rushes last week. That's a lot more than he usually gets. He's a workhorse. You could see him not running towards the end of the game. I don't know if he was just out of breath. Like, he was not on the field much. So worries me.
Should there be 2 weeks off, or should they play next Sunday?
I would like them just to play next Sunday. Keep the momentum, because it's like, what are we going to do for these 2 weeks? Like, no one watches the Pro Bowl or the skill games.
It's not even next weekend anymore. They moved it. It's like a flag football game next week is all it is now.
So like this coming up weekend?
No, next week in San Francisco at the Super Bowl, like Tuesday, there's a flag football game that is the Pro Bowl. So it's getting like worse, I think.
I just hope we got to see, you know what? You know the key to the game? We got to see where the teams are practicing, because if they are on that power plant field. Did you see John Lynch came out and mentioned it? He said, we're going to look into it.
He was asked about it in the offseason press conference. So our content, our conspiracy theories have made the John Lynch offseason press conference, and he commented on it, and he said they're going to look into it and leave every stone untouched. But they've also had great success at this facility, and they don't think it's going to lead to anything. So he's skeptical already, which everyone here knows. If you have a conspiracy theory, go in open-minded, not skeptical, because it could affect the outcome.
Because it could be real, like you say. If it's a real conspiracy, it's real, right?
Yeah, that's what real conspiracies are.
All right, good show. Check us out at Substack. Go to their YouTube, subscribe there. Subscribe to our Substack. It goes directly to your inbox. You get the podcast. You can subscribe to the RSS feed on the Substack as well. Everything is there. We will be back next week. Big betting guide. What else you got?
I was just going to say, when we record next week, I promise you one thing. The snow will still be on the ground here.
We should get you to turn your setup around so we could see you in the snow.
If it wasn't dark, that would be a great idea.
All right. Good show. See you next week.